In this edition of Veteran Voices, we find ourselves back at the Army Mountain Warfare School, where we're spotlighting the careers of longtime service members. And in this story, we're learning more about someone who spent the majority of their 20s as a civilian, but a national tragedy moved them to longtime service. Meet Max Rooney, a man whose path veered away from military tradition until fate intervened.
My grandfather was a World War II veteran. My father was a Vietnam veteran, and I just never thought that I would be interested in the military.
Or so he thought.
I had a successful civilian career that I enjoyed.
For much of his 20s, Rooney worked as a welder in an IBM facility. But one day during work, he heard words over the intercom that would change the trajectory of his life.
When I came down out of the ceiling came off the ladder, my partner had just said, "They're crashing planes into our buildings." And I think that was a lot for everyone to absorb. And after a couple of days of discussing things with my wife, I determined that I wanted to talk to a recruiter and never looked back, really.
From that point forward, the Fairfax native felt a deep sense of calling to serve.
After 9/11, I didn't want my generation to be the generation that didn't stand up and volunteer. So I was married at the time with 2 children and a very supportive wife, and she said if this is something you need to do, she supported it.
He was forced to quickly adjust to life in the military.
I was one of the older folks in basic training, so I got the standard grandpa.
But what began as a short stint of service soon blossomed into a decades-long career.
What would be your message now to that 26-year-old back then?
If I could look back and talk to my 26-year-old self that enlisted, I would say you did the right thing, you did a good job, and you've had an amazing career.
Rooney's career has taken him overseas, including to Iraq and Ukraine. He says one of his most memorable times came from an unexpected moment, a time when he was working out of an Iraqi family home.
They just asked if anyone had a soccer ball, and one of the members of my team had a soccer ball, so we deflated it so we could pack it in a rucksack and brought a pump, and we gave those kids that soccer ball, and it just meant the world to them.
And for Rooney, it's little moments like those that make it all worth it.
I shave my face and I put on a clean uniform, and I work hard, I do PT, I walk in the mountains, and it's physically taxing, and it's all worth it when you can make those connections with those individuals, saying my job does have value, and what I do actually does have meaning, does have a purpose.
Destiny or not, Rooney takes immense pride in walking in his family's footsteps by answering the call to serve his nation. In Jericho, Sam Israel, ABC 22 News.